9. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing.
Perhaps what could be the longest battle ahead lays in wait for these drivers here in Charlotte Motor Speedway with Concord, North Carolina's race. This is going to be the biggest battle of their day. 240 laps to the distance at a mile and a half here on PTM Racing TV. I am the Crusader Chris Driver, joining you guys here today with 19 of the toughest and the longest hard racing drivers to be had. The GOAT Racing League Series is now about to be set sailing for one heck of a ride across these bumpy waves and the old bumpy wheeler runs. So let's find out what we got down on the track here with our starting lineup. And on the pole, Charles Van Schiken, the 23 will be a number 1 seed. The outside, the number 15, it'll be Joe Hudson. Row number 2, and the 19, it'll be Tyler Dalton, the outside. And then our number 93, it is Bud Shearer. Row number 3 is Cameron Dario, and the number 6, the outside, and the 91, it is Wesley Donaldson. And Dario's in 54. Row number 4 is going to be the 45, Dayton Taylor, the outside, and the 24 is Cody Sturgill. Row number 5 is the 12, Aaron X. Jacks, the outside. Number 3, it is Keith Prince. Row number 6 is Maurice Burnett, and the 8, the outside. The 43, Samuel Harrell. Row number 7 is the 44, Christoph Hall, the outside. And the 22 is Allen, the Wild Man, Wild. Row number 8, the 99, TJ Allen, and the outside. The 18, Philip Schmitz. Row 9 is going to be the 39 of Kevin England, the outside. The Stunning Forest, Brian Wordman. And finally, in the last seat of the field, Richard Crane, pilots the 36. The field growing in numbers, stacked in lineup, stacked in power, stacked for the roar ahead. This is their ultimate battle to come. Only one question remains: who will be on top when all is said and done? Stage 1 on lap 60, stage 2 will be lap 120, stage 3, yes, there is a stage 3 on lap 180, your final set. 60 laps to the distance. The toughest battle lays in wait, with only 4 sets of tires to work with and a whole lot of throttle to power off. Consider this the GOAT Racing League's Coke 600, ladies and gentlemen. It's time at last for a crown jewel to be crowned upon these drivers' heads. Which one will it be, though? We're about to find out. Green flag, gonna drop it to the Global Strategy Team starting zone. It's off and running here. Stage 1 begins. Whoa, a little trouble down there as well. Out of the gate there, the number 91 and the 93 getting a little bit tangled up. Bud Shearer and a massive pile up on the back straightaway. Tyler Dalton slammed in between as well. Nasty collision there off the driver's edge. Unfortunately, nowhere able to get out of that mess right out of the gate. Such a tough road ahead, obviously, but definitely not the way they want to start it. See if we get a look at what happened here. Oh, right out of the gate, yeah, the 93 Shearer, he just got tangled up in a loose scenario. Car got loose, and he tried to back off immediately. Not realizing the consequences that lay in wait for him there. One more look here from our chopper cam. What a nasty, nasty wreck. Watch that 93 there. He comes on the top. You see the car just gets slightly loose. Dalton there. He had no chance. Gets clipped under by the 3, and then Alan Wild wraps around in there, the 9 as well. Oh my goodness. It's just a nasty, nasty wreck. And that was not the start anybody was looking for, much less expecting, considering how long they were all preparing for this. They were getting ready to go and ready to set on down to the track here. Already lost a good chunk of drivers. I mean, a lot. TJ Allen already out and down here. The 99's done. Bud Shearer right now trying to get the car revamped and refixed up. The other drivers right now just hoping for a little bit of a breather, a little bit of a break. Is already about ready to get back to the green here. Shot him on down off of turn number 4. Back to the restart zone we go. And it's time to bring the green back to light here in Concord. Michael Bollinger is saying he's going to try to get with us tonight as well with the broadcast today. Well, we hope to see you there, Michael. He's talking about what's still to come here tonight. But a little bit of racing league in action, of course. Should be interesting to see there. Deep into the turns here, Sammy Orell. Man, talking about shooting some gas and putting some positions up. And how about this? He's really living up to the Richard Petty schemes down there. He's got the old STP 43 machine out and routing it up. That's a scheme that I think many fans will be seeing not too long from now. Not just from a throwback sense, but really, truly to where it belongs in the old famed North Wilkesboro Speedway. But today, bringing it to the likes of Charlotte Motor Speedway. Very beautiful ride there. A very clean looking machine there. This is definitely going to be one of those long races that you just kind of got to watch your tempo, watch your pacing, know in the back of your mind, I cannot get too aggressive early. I got to kind of stay a little bit more cool, calm, and collective. Let the laps kind of transfer down and just make sure everything else works from there. Cameron Dario certainly well aware of that, but making a jump immediately to the front here. Got it right up ahead. Charles Van Schaik is number 54, Sports Clips. Trying to get up there to the 15 USAL, Joe Hudson. Hudson is, again, a guy who has not won this season yet. Still trying to figure out how to get there and how to kind of clear that up. Told me earlier today too that really with all the frustrations and the factors he faces up against, he's just really been hoping and praying for to get a win already by now, had it not been for a few other mishaps and a few other bad spots. Dave Taylor, the quick trip number 45 right now, trying to get the Camry just ahead of the Chevrolet in front of him here. How crazy is it too to think that those two numbers in the real world, they will be manufacturer teammates soon. I would not in my lifetime ever thought that would have been possible. But it is truly a thing, we'll see. Looks like Shearer going to try to get the 93 back out on the track. He's going to try to get the damage cleared up and get it ready to roll it out. Not too sure if he'll be able to really get anything going here, considering how far he fell from Grace. Building up the power and the runs here from the back of the pack. Cody Sturgill on the 24 having a little bit of a go at it here. Trying to sneak his way through the inside of the number 3, Keith Prince. Looking for any kind of momentum, any kind of run he can get off those corners and off those turns. He knows there's a lot to be had down there. Nvidia number 36, Richard Crane kind of lingering right back below there. Cody Sturgill as well. Trying not to get too out of control, too out of the position there, as the field right now has a great battle going on up for the race lead. Here we go, 3 cars. 2 of them not winners this season. trying to change that today in this long, drawn-out fight to the edge. Dario, though, is the one with the win, and he's already looking for another one to his credit. Only one win so far this season. Can he change that today? Gets a straight drive off there, but has to keep the pressure on. A lot of power to have to be maneuvering through and using up there, especially with Harrell right in the middle of it. Right in the thick, right in the twigs and the sticks and all that. You gotta just kind of make those slight adjustments, those slight maneuvers. Just stay one step ahead of them. You can feel the raw power too as he kind of maneuvers through each of those corners and every one of those turns. He seems to really have a well executed game plan there on how to use it up there as now Hudson falls back. Hudson falling back a little bit there. Charles Van Slyke, Sammy Harrell keeping their distance and keeping the ground up. As the field just comes rolling back around here, every driver for themselves. As you just see now the train start to form. There are multiple ways to run it out here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The first one is run it from the top side just a little bit in the middle, then to the bottom as you corner them off. The other way is stay more towards the middle and just kind of keep them stuck on the bottom so they can't get a run on you. There's a lot of neat tricks and little ways to kind of situate your car out. What all hinders on though is your maneuvering, your pacing, your conservative nature. Back there, the 91 there, looks like Wesley Donaldson and Christoph Hall in the 44 with a big target on his back. And I don't just mean just the logo, I mean literally he has always had a target since that win he got back at Talladega Super Speedway. He became a marked man then. Now everyone wants to try and outpace him and outsmart him as much as they can, because they know the more points he gets, the harder he will become to beat. And there's the pass for Donaldson, so he's already trying to make some moves quickly while the time can be done. Yo, it's interesting too to see just how far every one of these drivers come from and where they go to. You see back behind there, Hudson and Taylor still going at it a little bit. Hudson just trying to hold the line from Taylor there. Meanwhile, Aaron Jackson, another driver still winless this season, but with the stage points to his name. Same also with Sammy Harrell, Bobby Wetzel, Bud Shearer, Keith Prince, John McMillan Jr., and Cody Sturgill. They all have had a taste of a stage win, but the one thing that's eluded them is that big checkered flag win. Tyler Dalton alone, just in the Cup Series, 5 of them to his name. And people wonder why I call him the Reign of Terror in these broadcasts for Cup and Trucks. I don't say it just to be hilarious. I'm literally saying it because he is a legit terrorizer out there on these tracks and on those cars. He will not hold back and he won't give a darn thing to anybody. So you either got to cry from his cold dead hands or you best be running the round out on there just trying to make it away from him. Rob Moore here with Donaldson right now. But that kind of brings me back to my next point too, which again is that 5 wins the most. That's really second with them is Scott Simley with 2, Charles Van Slyke with 2, Doy Woods, Cameron Dario, Zach Roethlisberger, Ron Holyfield, Dayton Taylor, Christoph Hall. Guess what? They only got 1 win to their name. That's how tough it is for this competition and this level of expertise. To be able to find that extra little bit, that extra little thing to get some giddy up out there. And those stage points and wins, really in the long run, I feel like help out this guy more than anything. As he's now starting to crawl back and starting to fight back to the field. He took a lot of damage there on the first lap of the race, but it seems like he now has kind of a good idea where to go from there and what to do from it. Still a lot of ground and time to clear out down around the track here. Cameron Dario and the number 54 holding down the line, holding down the march. Sammy Horrell, Charles Van Stuyck right on that verge as well. Remember, we do have about 30 some odd laps here, about 38 laps to the line, coming to the line here for our competition caution for the stage break to come out. Just a who's who of drivers right now, though, just trying to stay focused on what is really important to them right now, which is just survival at this point. Right front's got to be feeling the wear and tear. The driver's got to be just mentally in a whole other world right now. Trying to stay not only cool with themselves and understandably just chill with the track, but I think at this point also probably just knowing how tough it is to get a run there. Just us control the track. Race surface. Dario. Problems on the outside. Left the door wide open for Horrell. Hey man, I tell you what guys, there's a driver that wanted to win more than anything. That's willing to probably put everything on the line. I think it might be that 43, honestly. Horrell, so close, so many times. Just off by a slim margin, or just off by the slightest margin. In his mind, he's had enough. And he is trying to make a change. He's trying to make everything work out the way he wants it to. Could this be his night? He still has a lot of racing to go before he can say anything. And so drivers too, heavily damaged right now. Still, I can come back to get him, but for now, he will take the lead over. Van Stuyck jumping it right underneath there with Dario there and making a good run up there to try to get to the 43 of Horrell. Caving it back around as well. Look at this battle there going on in the back. Keith Prince and Wesley Donaldson having a tussle here as Tyler Dalton, damaged or not, he doesn't care. The reign of terror must continue in his mind. Keeping his pace up, keeping his momentum hard on now. Battle for the race lead up ahead. Samuel Rell right now looking to possibly have to hold on. Charles Van Stuyck up ahead here. Van Stuyck desperately trying to clip the wings off of Horrell and not let him fly no more ahead of him. What a great battle here in stage one right now. This is what race is all about. Two hard throwing wheelmen. Nothing left to lose, everything to gain. They know what's going on down there. And continuing to just hold the paces, hold the control to keep everything right on their tail. Charles trying to keep the fast lane. Roush 23, SpongeBob scheme right ahead of the STP Oils 43 of Horrell. Ford versus Chevy with a Toyota lingering in the back. Two of the oldest manufacturers that ever graced and started with NASCAR on a track that was pretty much built and constructed with a lot of love for NASCAR in mind. Just almost impressive to see and just crazy to believe. Van Stuyck still looking to try to corner him off there on the inside. Horrell just wanting to back off as much as he can and save up all the equipment he's got left down there. Cameron Dario too, you're watching what he's doing. He's been pretty much kind of laying back low and waiting for the right time to strike. Well, right now this is the perfect time for him to strike, and he's trying to use it. Ahead of Stuyck here, and then on Horrell. I say Horrell first. in the line to get ahead of him, because honestly he wants to try to use the outside line more for leverage and use that speed to kick up into the breaches down there, and I think that honestly might not be a bad idea. Still dead even with each other here. Keith Prince, Christoph Hall going a little bit out of here. Battle was so heavy up front, we forgot all about the guys that are kind of lingering around the back there. Keith Prince, though, credit where credit's due. He's made an impressive marker, in my opinion. He's held off Tyler Dalton for a little bit. He's getting right ahead of Christoph Hall. He's shown moments of brilliance before. He's one of those drivers that knows how to get it done if he can just dial it up a bit. Late into the rush right now. Joe Hudson, the number 15, kind of staying in right behind. He fell back earlier there and was starting in second today for a qualifying spot. Now currently falling back into the top 5, but doesn't seem to have bounded too much. Keeps the bracket up and keeps his momentum down. Dayton Taylor, the 45, is now in pit road. As Charles Van Syke finally gets it ahead. Cameron Dario, no room for error, and yet gives up the opening. Now it's Hudson on the inside trying to take his position away. Hard launch from the outside wall. Dario stays relatively clean and sweet. Bump there to the 43. Heroic taking a little bit of a little bunch back there. Probably did not appreciate that too much there, knowing him. Hey, at this point though, really, he's just going to have to try to hold on for what he's got and try to hang in there. He did start kind of lost some time out there. Pit stops now going in. Tyler Dalton down Wild, Richard Crane here, all heading into pit road. So now the time's passing up, speed starting to dwindle down, and the engine's having to roar out a little bit less to save fuel. Dayton Taylor was one of the first drivers to blink there in the 45, going into pit road as early as he did. Now just trying to hold on and trying to stabilize whatever he's got left on the hood. I think right now he knows too that this is a very tough little deal for him, because now he's putting his trust into the caution flags, he's putting his trust into the leaders that have to go in at a certain time, and then trust that this car will have enough get up to go as far as he needs to ahead. Thankfully he is getting drivers punching down into pit road. Van Syke and Harrell are going in. Hudson, Dario, Jackson, and Prince staying out just a little bit longer. Man, if you're Hudson and Dario right now, what's going through your minds? Just trying to lay out as long as you can, hope that they don't get a little too close to the other. Harrell and them all now coming out of pit road. So the battle lines, in my opinion, have been drawn. Dario and Hudson right now just trying to stay one step ahead here. They know what the fuel limit is. They know what the tires are going to be able to take. So right now they're trying to focus on trying to outmaneuver the other. Sports Cliff Toyota Camry 54 of Dario right now trying to stable one step ahead of the USAL 15 Ford Mustang of Joe Hudson. Hudson again winless this season. So many times though has he been in this position, in this predicament, in this spot, in that place, in that time, only for it to be ripped away from him, or all of a sudden something coming out of the blue costing him any chance or any life he had left inside that car. Speaking of kind of lingering back around there, the 127 Planet Fitness of Kevin England. After that little clip up he took on the front of the nose there, and actually hanging around in the 6th spot here. Still has to go to pit road though eventually here. I don't think he's gonna be able to get a. I don't think he's gonna be able to get a fuel run working for him in that case. Especially not even with Brian Wortman here in the number 74. But again, with the onboard camera, you can just see how smooth and transition he is right now in the controls. Eagle into pit road, Dario's in pit road, Donaldson in pit road. So one or two or three, excuse me, only 4 drivers remaining that have not gone to the pits. Hudson, looks like I hear that car starting to dwindle off a bit. Looks like it's time for him to make his move. Jackson will go along and to inside. Keith Prince, he wants to stay out a little longer. Yeah, but it wasn't just him though that stayed out a little longer. The call ncA11.org. He decides to stay out too. Wortman kind of playing his own speed, trying to drive his own line down. You know, it's kind of funny too right now. Tyler Dalton went on lap number 35. He's got the most damage of all of them. He's currently in 3rd place. Only behind Keith Prince and Brian Wortman, and Keith Prince now finally getting the car out, but I think it might be too little too late. Dalton's going to catch him there in the corner, and he's going to get him off turn 1. Wortman right now, I think, has got to play the very tough strategy here. And the toughest call, which is, can I get this car to last out the entire time, the entire run? Well, in his mind, he thinks he can. A little bit of a throwback, if you will, there. Of course, Interstate Batteries on Marine Team, Philip Schmitz. Oh, he's got an awesome ride out there. Look at it, see what he's got there. Fielding back around right on the back straightaway. Sammy Morrell, Aaron Jackson, and Philip Schmitz now having a little bit of a go, a little bit of a tussle down there. Laps winding down for stage number 1, that is. We still have a 2nd stage and more to come. Some great control off the distance into the corners here. Nobody wants to give up position. No one wants to give up that spot. Morrell and Jackson, though, they're well aware of what they got to do. The action man himself going down into the inside there around the 43 STP of Sammy Morrell. Drive off quick, drive off hard, and a rear wing down on the inside. A lot of momentum roaring through the corners. Smith's well aware of that too. He's looking to try to stabilize it down a bit. Wesley Donaldson too, man, making for a little bit of a good position for him here. He kind of showed a lot of restraint earlier going up against the guys, up the top dogs and some of the tougher drivers, but it seems like now he knows he's kind of in a bit of a fight out here and kind of has to make some last minute efforts to get something to work here. Battle for the second spot, or third, excuse me, is Cameron Dario in the 54 trying to hold out that 15 of Joe Hudson, but Hudson, he is jamming it out. He's getting all the speed he needs. Still a long way to ways though from the 19 7500. Hey, 1-1 NC driver himself, Tyler Dalton, leading it out still. Keeping his pace, keeping his control, and doing whatever he has to just to make this work. Running out on laps though, left to go. Dayton Taylor, man, he did everything he could right, he thought. But Dalton just seemingly kind of outplayed him. Bill Schmitz right now on the inside. Jackson trying to out-rev him. Trying to outrank him, if you will, in terms of trying to hold the speed off, trying to hold the power down. Schmitz looking for a good drive off. Beautiful power there off the distance. And by the way, do I spy my little Pontiac nose on the name on the front of that 18? I'm pretty sure I see Pontiac. Yeah, I do see Pontiac. Schmitz is really trying to go throwback in old school wise. I don't think Pontiac is ever in their lifetime going to have a car back in the real world for NASCAR there, buddy. Just a thought, but I mean, hey, at least he really wanted to really stick to its old origins of religion down there. Credit where credit's due there. Last minute laps, timing up, 6 laps to go. Schmitz right now trying to get something off that turn, off that basis. Keith Prince are also lingering around, man, the base in the position. Jumps it up ahead of Samuel Harrell. Boy, Samuel right now probably just thinks he just got stuck into a trap. Fell for a hook, line, and sinker in his mind. But again, it's early, and I mean very, very early. We still have a whole 180 laps left in this race. I think if there was ever a time he could figure something out, I think it might be then and there. You know, Dayton Taylor too right now, by the way, not exactly holding down the whole field. Joe Hudson, slowly but surely, scratching and clawing his way up to him. Van Schaik right behind Hudson here, as right now they try to maneuver through the field, trying to maneuver down across the playing field. The gap's starting to open up a bit. Other drivers now starting to take good intention. Looking for a double trouble here. Joe Hudson looks like he's having some more problems than we expect down there. It looks like he's got a lot of problems. He's almost vanished off the face of the earth right now. Hudson, I don't know what's going on down there with the 15, but he has been sentenced or banished to the shadow round, whichever one comes first. We have not. He's gone out of the way. 2 laps to go. This next time on by for Tyler Dalton. Prince carving the inside around, trying to jump it in, trying to take the spot. Relinquishes it, and Prince taking a good run on Aaron Action Jackson. Now looking for the top 5. Schmitz, though, will not relinquish it that easy, and he knows it. From record to wrecked up to checked up to now all cleaned up, Tyler Dalton has got only 1 more lap remaining here. Stage break coming up. And he absolutely dominated this one. Dayton Taylor did have a little bit of speed left in the tank to catch him, but it was not enough in this case. to try to knock down the 19. Off the final 2 corners here for 3 into turn number 4. Stage caution to Bruin, but major stage points for the number 19. He'll take the stage win home. Stage number 1 winner here for the number 19, Tyler Dalton, taking full control of that. Looking to take more home. So right now the field going to get squared back up here and setting on down the track. We'll take a look at some highlights here in a little bit. But right now we kind of took a look at everything we've done here, and really for what you can remember from that one, I mean at this point it's all about timing and pacing around this race. Stay in contention of your own destinies and stick with what you got. There is nothing else really you can do from it. Stage number 2 about to set sail, race fans. It's time at last here to get us going here to the next stage of racing. Here we go once more. A little bit of a roundabout way here. Every driver right now just kind of getting a little bit of a better start and a little bit more of a cleaner, crisp end. Nobody trying to get into trouble here. Everyone trying to make moves where they can and make runs where they got to. The 36 NVIDIA of Richard Green right now kind of keeping a little bit of a gap on some of these drivers, and Samuel Rell tries to stick with him here. Stabilizing them back on down here. Every driver right now looking for more momentum, looking for more give, more ground. But no matter how you look at it here, there's only one thing you can really do, and that's basically just stay in your own place, in your own spot, and hope for the rest later. Jake Taylor right now looking to try to use whatever plan of attack he's got right now here in stage number 2. Knows he's going to have to figure something out here. Charles Van Schaik will not get off his tail. Side by side right now, this is your battle for the race lead. Van Schijk trying to get a little bit of a drive out there on the 45. Dayton Taylor just trying to keep his momentum up, trying to keep his pace and down and around. Keith Brent's also in that mix and in that fold. Taylor driving off on the outside here, looking for a little bit more ground on Prince. Prince trying to hold his momentum down there. And these guys looking so strong down through the corners and down to the edges here. Each one just want to make the best of their spotlight, just trying to make the best of what they can do with it. Going started on the 24, going right up top side here, lingering back around. Samuel Orell and Aaron Ashton Jackson just kind of keeping their distance in as well. Everyone just looking for whatever they can. The momentum is certainly there. Cameron Dario as well, already taking a little bit of a chunk off Charles Van Schijk there, and the lead continue here. Focusing on right now here, it looks like more than anything, Keith Brent's here and Dayton Taylor having a bit of a fight out between these drivers, between their sections, between their centers. Neither one wants to give an inch to the other. Remember, their next competition caution, the stage breaks on lap 120. So they're wearing and tearing out a lot of that tire, a lot of that fuel, and just trying to hope to not end up costing themselves more than anything here. Coming right around, Keith Prince and Cameron Dario right now having a little bit of a drive off there on the inside and the outside lane. Each one trying to hold down. Prince moving the way around on the outside to Dario. Dario trying to stall line anything he can here. Brought the 3 wide off the distance here, but Scherer opened the door up and now trying to stabilize down whatever they can left. Everybody just doing what they got to this case here and to this point. They know the drive is off and hard charging here. Aaron X, Jackson, Sammy Morrell right now just going head to head here a little bit. The field just kind of stabilizes himself down. I do apologize in advance here, folks, if you hear a little bit of noise in the background here. We're having a look. Not going to be lying to you guys. We have a little bit of a problem down here. Currently, something has kind of broken our line here, so it's getting kind of hard to breathe down here. I apologize in advance. So if you hear a fan blowing around in my background here, do not mind it. We're just trying to deal with some situation here. Yeah, right at this point here, the field's just kind of doing their own thing. They're just kind of keeping a close eye on seeing what they can do here. Garen Dario right now on the 54 having some company there on the 54 as the 3 of Keith Prince right now trying to do everything he can. Dario right now trying to stabilize whatever he can on the outside here. Keith Prince, shotgun blazing it right on the inside there. Aaron Axel Jackson mixing in on the inside as well. Jackson right now probably at this point just trying to stay a little bit more focused, a little more determined. Trying to do everything he can here. Sturgill right now as well. Hoping for a little bit of a break here at this point too. This season's been nothing but trouble for him. Prince at 3 right now, just looking for whatever he can at this point to hold that bottom lane down, to hold the other drivers off and not let them get too close to him or too far out away from him. Jackson and Dario holding the top 3 spots with Shike obviously leading it out. 30 laps remaining here. Wild moving up in the top 5 here. Again, I'm sorry about not quite getting up to the action quick as I have used to here, folks. If only you can see what's going on in the studio right now, you believe me when I say it. Although I don't think you probably would believe me on that one, so. Marching around here right at the moment, see what they can do. So Sam Morrell went in at pit road there. Cody Sturgill also one of the drivers that went in. Those that are staying out right now are trying to put up all the pressure they can and do what they need to stay in control. Sorry for the cough on cam there, guys. Everyone just trying to hold off what they can, get what they can bring to the table here. As the rest of the field from pit road to the top front of the half here, and just trying to look for any kind of extra leverage and get momentum. Aaron Action Jackson, the 12, going to go to pit road. Keith Brent's now moving into the 3rd spot. So Van Schaik right now leading them out. Dario trying to kind of come back alive. Alan Wildman wild down to pit road. The commander going in there. Kevin England, the 127, got a little bit of a little cleanup on the car there. It still has slight damage on the front of the nose. At this point right now, just trying to stay at what he can do. It looks like Harrell finally getting a run, even to get her on a charge there. Dayton Taylor sneak his way around, do what he can there. Charles Van Schaik right now going into pit road, the 23 here, having a little bit of problems down, having to get himself into fuel and get some tires, trying to hurry before things really escalate for him. Wesley Donaldson trying to do much the same here and get things more on his level. The WA&D gonna see what he can do here. Sturgill right now dealing with Schmitz there on the back half here. Harrell moving into the race lead here. And remember, Harrell has already been to pit road on lap 86. He took a different tactic here. And he's currently looking to try to work that magic in. Only having to go in 20 laps or so. As this strategy worked out in his favor, we'll see, because Dayton Taylor's still not far behind him. Aaron Ash Jackson and Charles Van Schaik are starting to kind of close the gap down a bit here. A little problem down there, though. Unfortunately, looks like Wesley. Yeah, we got a problem down there. Looks like caution is out on the track here. So it looks like Wesley Donaldson, the recipient that brought the track caution out here. Something going wrong down there for the 91 here. Look, just completely kind of missed it there on our end until the caution just kind of flew right out. Not totally sure what went wrong, but there was a caution out on the track. See if we can see what happened here, and I'm not totally sure. Okay, hold on a minute. I think we got an idea now what happened. This is from pit road. Car fired, and then car all of a sudden just stops. And I think England passing him honestly set that caution out. And I don't believe any of the drivers are well aware of what the heck happened. That's all I got, really. Honestly, there was no other reason why the caution had came out for other than that little situation there. So that leads me to believe that the little stop there from Donaldson was what caused this situation to come up. But what a horrible time for those on the pit strategy wise to have this happen. Back onto that green flag restart zone. We're back underway. They did right now, looking to bring the power up on the quick trip 485 here. Samuel Rell looking to get the race lead kind of more configured into his end here with only about 8 laps remaining. This is big right now for Rell. He needs those stage points too and really needs to stay focused on his chances here. That's why I'm not coming out with a chest color or anything, guys, right now. I'm just currently just dealing with some fumes down here. That's the best way I can explain it. Oh! Speaking of coming down with a few spots there, that's not going to be good for the 36 Richard Crane. Bashed into the wall protection there on the outside through turn 4. Took a nasty little hit there and a nasty little tumble. Gets it squared back up though, he'll stay straight on line. Dylan Schmitz right now, the number 18, trying to get a little bit closer up on the edge here, looking for any position he can. Dario Sturgill also in that fight and in that roundup. Crane, England, Dalton, Hall, and Wortman. Taking a bit of a back seat in this one, if you will, for stage number 2. And those drivers earlier too had really made a good little showing, a good little shot in the dark for what they were going for. Now it just seems like everything has kind of changed up on their half. The only drivers in the top 5 really have been the ones that have been consistently in that march. And then there's this guy as well. I don't know what on earth has got into Keith Prince today, man, but that 3 somehow, some way is just using up every ounce of that car to prove something in his mind. And I think honestly this is exactly what he needed to do. Was to build all the momentum, get the drive underneath him, and then see what he can do from there. 4 laps remain. Samuel Rell, though, man, looks like he might have indeed found a winning formula. But has he found anything else there? Keith Prince, what on earth? He's either got a whole set of tires underneath that bad boy, or he just has a foot full of the pedal into the metal. Oh, my word. We're going to climb right back up. Jackson letting the 23 by. He was trying to make it fast on the inside, and then Prince all of a sudden just said, well, nope, that's not happening. Huge drive off for the ASL. Oh, my word, race fans. He's trying so hard to get to Harrell and Taylor. He might have a chance here. He still has to get to Dayton, and then he has to find a way to catch Harrell with only about 2 laps to go. Time running out, but he's got him on the outside. He's got something. He's got something. Does he have enough, though? Harrell literally right now just probably itching and scratching that wheel to make sure it holds on. You know, he's got a firm grip on it. Prince right now delivering the goods, ready to bash the speed in, trying to catch him. Does he have enough to get to him, though? Time's running out here, coming off turn number 2. Harrell slowing him down a little bit, trying to hold back. Gap going to close off even further into the turn. Prince looking for the run, looking for the seam. Can he get him off turn 4? It's going to be close. Right back down, launch around the turn. 1 lap short, though. Samuel Harrell will take this one home in stage number 2. Big spot there for Harrell. Knows that goes a long way towards the ultimate goal here in terms of what he needs to do and what his mobility will be to bring to the table here. The question now remains is, can he keep it lasting and can he keep going with it? especially considering how tough this field will be. We get a little bit more indebted into and more around the race. Stage number 3 now, Brett set to begin. Keith Prince did take tires on the last pit stop before everyone else went in, so right now he's on lap 107 with a little bit of fuel and a little bit more runoff, but again, using the tires this early, it's a bit of a risk here. You want the win to lock yourself in the playoffs, that helps, but I think right now he wants stage points to try to lock himself in based off of points and have the bonus points incorporated in for him. Here we go, stage number 3 begins. Dayton Taylor, Tyler Dalton right now moving their way to the chains here. Both drivers right now hot on the trail. They know what they got to do. Lap 180. That is our target. And you know, as well as anything, they're going to try to shoot for everything they got to get that momentum up and build that run off to the corners. Side by side there, Dalton and Dayton getting a little bit closer together than I think they were expecting to be. Van Schaik on the outside right now, trying to steer clear and run this way through across the mirror. Earlier on, he had to do a little mirror driving just to kind of keep a close eye on everything going on behind him and everyone in front of him, but now he's in a whole different ball game here. Dalton trying to steer the runoff there. Schaik going right on the bars into the charge, and Dalton giving up Schaik the run he needed. This top 5 set is riding right now, man. They are absolutely ticking everything clock caution, everything to the swing here. Gustav Hall, the target, number 44 right now. Again, stabilizing himself down. Keith Prince for the first time this season going to really have a big lead on the field. And such a heated display of raw power and performance needed just to hold the car down on the edges here. No driver, though, in my opinion, is safe from Charlotte's wrath, if you will. Phil Schmitz here getting a little bit of a run around here. Maurice Burnett, the number 8 Budweiser machine. Parked on the outside. Schmidt getting into the end zone there, going to run off on him. Burnett again, man. He's had some remarkable performances here on the show. We've seen it long ago there a couple seasons ago when we were starting out with these Go Racing League guys, and he was one of those drivers that knew how to come out here and put on a battle and put on a display. But it seems like this season anyway, it has not quite been the same for him. Seems to almost kind of got lost in the shuffle. Kind of got lost out on the track and not really in the same position you would expect him to be in. Something up on the outside. Keith Prince here now starting to realize that driving so quick out of the gate may not be the best idea ever. Especially now when you got a lot of time left on the clock here. Yeah, he's getting pushed back behind the 8 ball even further as the rest of the field move their way ahead, trying to strike your leader, Dalton, behind. But you're in the way of lap traffic right now. Set him down off the course here. Dario right now running it back in the ground, back in the position here, trying to hold the march up. You got Prince right on his outside here, still struggling. Dario and Prince right now seem like they've kind of got a little bit of an edge out between the two. But nevertheless, they continue to do what they do right and do what they do best. That's just keeping the wheel tucked in, keep that drive on the car, and hope for the best down there. Just over halfway done with this race here so far, fans. And yeah, really, I mean, it's been whoever can just get to the front and get something going quickly. It looks like Sturgill finally looking to join in on that party, if you will. Bringing the raw power down, bringing the momentum up to grabs. Trying to see what he can do here. Got a great little opening down off the corner to the end. Move there. Now looking just to get anything else he can really stack in with and really jump around off of. Time falling short and time running out here. Jackson up on the outside there. Dario right now feeling the pressure. Both guys side by side, nearly touching the spoilers and touching the side skirts a little bit. Managing to hold him down though and not get into that mess there. They all want a piece of the glory. They all want a piece of the excitement. There's only one way to really truly get it done, though, and that is by out racing and out maneuvering your field out. Van Schaik still your race leader, and surprisingly, you know, he's been so dominant this race. He's not won one single stage yet. Not a single stage won yet so far. But a heck of a lot more troubles in his mind, in his position, in his point of view. Gapping him up and longing around here. Alan Wild still holding his line down on the edges here. Sturgill looking to go back underneath the inside here. He's trying to make another run for it. He's using up any ounce of that car and any ounce of those turns he can. Try to see if he can steer right back in place and right back on the position where he needs to. The downside, though, is he just has not been able to fully get a run off there and really make it kind of where he needs to be. But in spite of all that, seems to still be A-okay, at least in terms of controlling his momentum and his temper. Something I don't know I would be really doing right now. I think honestly at this point I'd just be getting so hot-headed there inside that car just hoping we can catch some brakes here and get some speed going underneath us later. This is what these endurance races will do to you. They will pretty much force you to make crucial decisions, crucial points of accuracy, and make for the runs you can. And in turn, that creates some of the hardest racers you will see coming out on the track. Far beyond and far and wide. Kind of weird to see Sam Morrell right now laying this far back low, but I think maybe that's just due to another strategy he's got in mind. Dayton Taylor and Aaron Jackson going into pit road now. Dalton now going into pit road as well, so he'll try and make his stop. Sturgill in with him. Van Schaik staying out. Timing is everything here, honestly. It seems like these pit strategies are really what are getting the better of these drivers in terms of who can make the right choice in the right position, in the right time, when and where they decide, though. It's completely up to them. Now Dalton right now currently trying to get back under the power, back under the paces with Taylor right behind him. Van Schaik, Dario right now, they're one of the only drivers that kind of stay entwined with one another here and staying closer together. Alan Wild, man Wild though, staying relatively in pace with them, so could be there's choice there on when they decide to make their move. You can see the gap though that Dario and Shike got right now, and then the gap from leading out the rest of them. Gap starting to become more and more prominent and more troublesome for some drivers. For others, it's really just becoming a way of the race, a way of the track. Give us a little onboard camera here to give you guys just kind of an explanation of why each driver has been relatively in the same spot, same position here. This just shows you where the run has been, where the corners have been tied into, and where to kind of focus in on for everyone that has been trying to stay relatively in the same line, in the same sight. It's all been a matter of controlling the gaps, controlling the distance, and run it from there. So right now at this point, it's all just a matter of timing and pacing here, just trying to get to that lap 180 stamp. Dayton right now trying to get Taylor and Dalton, or excuse me, Dayton Taylor, and trying to get Tyler Dalton right up there ahead of Charles Van Schaik. By simply just drafting with him. Dario though, keeping his gap, keeping his position up. Shike right now though at this point is really just kind of just do his own thing, kind of focus in on what he's been known for, which is just kind of keeping his pace up. Devin England right now looking to get a little bit more ahead of the ground, ahead of the trash in here, and again, Maurice Burnett laying a little bit lower right now, but England not exactly the same situation, the same boat. He's been trying to muscle it around, trying to find a little extra give, a little bit more power underneath it. Now the wild man has gone to pit road now, so he will be one of the first drivers in terms of the long runners to get in there. Question is, when will the others park it in? Dario right now trying to stay one step ahead of Van Schijk. Van Schijk still looking to keep his momentum up and the power underneath him. Every driver very crucially aware of the troublesome parts of this race they've been facing up against. More than anything too right now, I think really we're seeing just how far somebody will take their limits and take their cars to the point of no return if it means getting ahead of the other ends. Again though, I don't think Van Schijk will be able to last out the full length run. Keith Prince even still somehow hanging around that top 3. I'm not trying to laugh at him. I'm just laughing at the fact that Prince has just been this consistent today. And as I say that now, he's going into pit road. So looks like his fuel run ran out. He's just been so consistent. I just keep questioning, where has this been the whole season? Where have we not been able to get some of this to come out and really to be showcased here? Absolutely crazy to me and crazy to believe. But yet, right now anyway, with whatever time he has left, he still can get it figured out and still dialed up if he can. Van Schijk and Dario have now entered into pit road, so now both drivers crucially awaiting their mark and awaiting their time frame here. Somebody might want to tell those pit crew guys down there they don't have their guy down there yet. Van Schijk out of pit road. Dalton immediately trying to catch him. Schijk trying to stay ahead of one step of the curve here, but I don't think he's going to have time to hold Dalton back. No, he will not. Pass him on the outside. And Dayton Taylor and Tyler Dalton now ahead of Van Schijk. Kevin England, the last of our drivers to go in. Looking to maybe try to play a different strategy card out here. I don't think it quite worked out in his favor. Samuel Harrell, 7 seconds ahead. He went on lap 124 for his pit stop. And he has just been saving and saving and saving and saving, but I just do not think this will be enough here. And it will not. He certainly tried it though. Give him credits too. He tried everything he could to get it to last out. But it just was not enough time for that. Now, the battle goes between these two for this stage win. Dalton played a very aggressive move here. Dalton right now just probably at this point so focused, so stressed in. Watching every lap, every spot, every corner. He knows what he's got to do. Dalton and Taylor right now looks like they're going to finally have a bit of a battle off here. Taylor trying to hang in there. Dalton right in front of him just by so much though. Dalton right now still leading it down. Taylor still closing in on him. Time left on the clock though. 8. They'll have 6 laps coming to the line. Taylor trying to park the QT45 into victory lane. Will have his hands cut out for him here, because he's still got to find a way around Dalton, and then he's got to try to find a way to make that move off when he gets his chance. For Dalton right now, though, it's pretty simple. Keep him behind, don't worry about the rest. But there is one little glaring factor we forgot all about, and he's coming up right behind them both. Charles Van Schaik, last hurrah, literally outsmarting them both. They tried a late run. He's going to try a late rally. Here he comes. 5 laps to go. Van Schaik looking for the final stage points. That will tally him up and add on to his sequence here, but he's got to first find a way to get to Dalton. Harrell right on the outside. Causing Dalton to lose a little bit of time, little ground there. Van Schaik right behind them both. Van Schaik trying to get everything he's got underneath that hood. Harrell going to go on the outside. He'll fall a lap down. Lucky Dog will certainly be in order for him. He's going to need it too. That is the gap right now between these two here in stage number 2. Van Schaik coming up quick. Dalton trying to hold off. He's got 1 stage win already. Could we see another from him, or will Van Schaik snatch one away? The pressure's on. Trying to put the power down. And this last rally here is certainly looking like it could be set in motion. Dalton, honestly, if I was him, I'd get to the bottom and try to block him. Don't let him try to make a move on me if I was him. He's going to try to throw him in the dirty air. He's got it in front of him. Van Schaik, though, only needs 1 good corner, and that straightaway will be his. Deadlocked with one another here. Dalton to his mirror, Schaik to his front wheel shield. Parking him on the outside, looking for the runoff. Schaik can't quite get him there. Dalton blocked him. Stays a little bit low. Notice how Dalton, too, he's a little lower to the wall there on the back straightaway. He's trying to make sure Schaik does not get any run or any room off that distance. 1 more to go. Here we go. Stage number 3 about to come full centered here. Schaik looking for anything he's got, any little extra give, a little bit more momentum. Looking for a runoff down through turn 3. Oh, he got the corner of Dalton. Dalton having to back off. Schaik trying to hang on. He couldn't drive it hard enough. Dalton is going to steal this one here. Stage number 3 belongs to Tyler Dalton. Oh, wow. You want to talk about wild moments? That was a wild moment right there. Charles Van Schaik nearly takes one away from Dalton, but Dalton, the last gasp, having to battle it back in quickly. Schaik trying to steer it back up. Dalton just trying to make sure the car was set to run back off the turn, and he was able to keep it on line. Now sets up this impressive final climactic battle. A battle for which we're about to see race fans here in just a few short moments. We'll be right back after a quick commercial message. So now, race fans here, welcome back onto the show here. We are just getting ready for the conclusion of what I can best describe as pretty much the Coke 600 or World 600, however you want to name it, for these GOAT Racing League drivers. Getting a little bit of a pace lap around the track here. They want to get settled back down and get settled in. Focus and determination going to be very crucial here. Just under 60 laps left to go. Charles Van Schaik, literally at that last lap, almost catching Tyler Dalton just enough to get that stage point, but it would be Dalton taking 2 points home to add on to his tally marker, looking for that final one. And remember, this is the same driver at the beginning of this race got wrecked out by Bud Scherer on the 93 side. Early on, as Scherer lost control of the car, both drivers have since got them both pretty much fixed beyond to the point of repair. But that has not set well. I guarantee you with Scherer knowing he had set the 4th fastest time today, only to be drawn out of this one. So here we go. Opportunities. High on their position, high on their category, very critical of their priorities. Van Schaik knows he cannot make a mistake here. This is the final leg of the race. Off the distance. The pace car coming around off turn number 4. We're ready to get back to it. This, ladies and gentlemen, is your final start of the stage breaks here. The final stage begins. Let's kick it down. Swinging them right to the turns. Oh, down a little trouble. Oh, there's trouble. There's trouble. Christoph Hall's down in there. There's problems. Problems for the 44. And a nasty little spin around there. Unfortunately, as caution is out on the track here for all drivers. Christoph Hall taking a tumble down there into the corner. Take a look at the replay here and see what happened there. This is kind of eerily similar to what we saw earlier. Just get off to a good jump and a good spot, and the next thing you know, all of a sudden this happens. Maurice Burnett was the first to get loose there. Then Richard Crane actually was on to destroy the 44, and thankfully because there wasn't a pack behind him, they were able to keep their brakes up. But Christoph Hall can't be a happy camper right now, I guarantee you that much. Take a look at his onboard camera here, and this is what it feels like inside that cockpit. Not a feeling I would wish upon anybody. Well, except maybe for those that probably deserve it when I'm on the track. But then again, that's just my cold hard racing heart inside me. So, all right, leading it back down the back straightaway. Ready to get him back down to business here. Tyler Dalton moving up into the leader spot now. Charles Van Schaik going towards pit road. Obligating to take it now. It's just take the fuel and go from there. Maybe in his mind it may be enough, with about 50 laps still to go, to possibly just wing it out from here. There's a chance it could be, but I don't think it will work. The pit stops have been too all over the place for that, in my opinion, to really kick in the proper procedure. Coming right around off of turn number 4, though, back to the green flag restart zone. We are back underway. and Alan Wild making a big jump right on the inside there around Dayton Taylor. Maybe trying to look down to hunt the Reign of Terror himself. Tiredon looking to kind of keep his paces up here, try to get the power underneath him. Cody Sturgill right behind him as well. Aaron Action Jackson also in that mix and in that battle. Up in the zone, up in the fight. Every driver right now just looking for whatever they can here. Also, can't believe I gone this long without saying this, but right now, recording this here, it is May 14th, so those mothers out there, happy Mother's Day to you all. We'll see a few mothers and a few other drivers here later on as Pedal to the Metal Racing still to come today. But nevertheless, happy Mother's Day to everyone out there that is spending time with their kids and spending time with their loved ones. And of course, happy Mother's Day to my mom and my grandma. They always watch these broadcasts or watch them back sometimes, so I really appreciate that. So happy Mother's Day to you both, and I'll say it again later on too if you missed it. So nevertheless, though, right now you blink, you miss it, because you can see some of the hardest racing that these Go Racing League boys are trying to put up right now. They have been so convulsed and diluted in so many aspects, but now they are now lined up in such a tight-knit formation to get this run squared out and put up to the show. And they know what's on their plate, they know what's on their mind. And that's the end of the race. Such a long run, such a long formatted race like this, man, it just mentally has to be wearing and tearing them out a little bit. It's just making them think a little bit in the back of their heads. How far can I go and how long will I get down on this track here? Considering what I have to do to take the control of this race. You can see the gap too, how far each driver is spread out from the other here. Everyone on a different playing field, different strategy. Looks like Sam Morrell also did not get his lucky dog, so it looks like he was not able to get any breaks there. I said earlier, I thought honestly maybe he'd be the driver to possibly take this one home if he can figure out the rest of the race. Doesn't seem to be the same situation here. Dalton right now just trying to get Dayton Taylor squared back up again, looking to try to out race him once more. Dayton, though, has had his number before, could easily try to find something here and maybe get a little bit of a ground clearance on him if he so can desire. With just over 40 laps left, the wild man, Alan Wild, right now, man, he is walking a fine line with some of the toughest of the tough right now, but again, winless this season, with a crowd that stacks up every time we come to these tracks, we come to these shows, and we have the calls done up. You always can know that Wild is somewhere in there with some fans rooting him on. There's quite a few names that these fans love to see and they love to root for here on these broadcasts and on these calls. But it just seems like more and more I always have those vocal ones coming out here to bring it to the house and bring it to the show a little bit. Just this onboard camera here alone, you can just see the focus right now on Jackson's face, man. Those eyes tell the story. Focused, driven, set for survival. Doing everything they can right now just to make sure they don't get in too much trouble at this point. For them, at this point, they probably also want to focus on the key aspects, the key elements of what they want to do, which is just make sure the car is in perfect harmony. And everything else working in its way in. Uh-oh, trouble down there. Sammy Harrell, and that's going to get us a caution out on the track here. Caution is out on the track there. Sammy Harrell in the 43. Coming to a deadlock stop, and as if things couldn't get any worse, not getting his lap back. Now, all of a sudden, this situation. Let's start a look at it. I mean, look at the sparks there. It just catches the apron. Look at the sparks that's flying out. You can see he stayed away from Van Schaik in England. England going deep into the inside of the corner there to make his move. Flagman down there, I don't know what the heck he was doing. He wasn't even doing his job down there. No knocking against Concord's track officials, but guys, I mean, that was a car right in front of you spinning out. They had the flagman up in the top booth, literally calling the caution. Hey, then again, that's just me in this case. I don't know. So, but nevertheless, here we are currently getting squared back out on the track here, and we're getting ready to rally them down up. Ready to shoot for the moon yet again here. Last dwindling away, and time all but running out. Now comes the heavy hitters and comes the hard chargers. Time for some speed here. We're coming down the final legs of this race. And now for those that went into pit road, now fuel seems to be no longer an issue, so you know what that means. It's all about tire management. This is the one thing, honestly, that's going to be surprising to me, is how many drivers spared the tires, how many drivers set these cars up for this long final last bit. Did they strengthen the numbers? Did they strengthen the speeds? Do they have anything left underneath those hoods? Only true, really one way to find out. Dalton knows he's got company on his back bumper there. Cody Sturgill trying to get up there to him. Probably trying to just kind of be a little bit more convulsive and a little more conservative, but that almost was not the same situation. And look at this now. Christoph Hall, he's making a bit of a fight back in that position now, isn't he? Even Charles Van Schaik and Dayton Taylor and Maurice Burnett also in there. Remember Hall earlier on, he almost completely lost his race outright there on that first restart from the stage 4. Now all of a sudden it seems like he just can't seem to get out of that top 5 bracket out all of a sudden. But now it looks like he might have a little bit of a competition for that, because Van Schaik and Taylor want that position away. Every chance counts here, and he knows it too. Rolling through turn number 2 down the old, well, Humpy Wheeler's bumps down there, or the Wheeler bumps, or Humpy's bumps, I should say. Gets the car just a little bit more offset, gets them a little bit more squirrely, trying to steer them back around. Every turn, every angle, every shot just makes it that much more difficult. How about this guy too, the 127 to Kevin England. And I know it says 39, but that's just a stamp stamp. He's actually the 127 on the car there, so we're going by that. But England, he's been pretty conservative today. He's been right on the tail, right on the nose, and on the bumpers here. Keeping his close eye on what he's trying to do and trying to make sure he can work his way onto the track. And it seems like he's starting to figure things out a little bit. Cameron Dario also on the Sports Clutch 54. Perhaps a last gas, a last rally. Time running out. Oh, wait a minute. 3 wide. Coming from turn 4. Dario backing way out of it. Dayton Taylor, though, hell, he wasn't backing out of nothing. Oh, my. Dayton throws the hard slinger and throws it right in. Almost like the gunslinger in the Wild West. He just knew when to shoot and when to fire. He took exactly what he had to do to get around Sturgill and Dario in that corner. Although I would say both drivers probably not too thrilled by that little move off. There's not much you can do. It's hard racing. Again, didn't even touch, didn't get into you. You had to fight out of it and have to learn from it. But they are starting to dwindle even further along. Just chances of getting any opportunity to make a move or last minute gas here are further hamstringing them more and more. Philip Smith's the 18 right now, just trying to do whatever he can to just maybe make a top break for the top 10. Earlier, his strategy was all about just keeping pace, keeping his momentum up in the gas tank, but now it seems like his fuel run chances all of a sudden just went dwindling right down. A little 3 wide there off turn number 4 as well. Kevin England, he gets trapped in it. Now, while Keith Brent's getting some power underneath their cars, and hitting the accelerator just a little harder when they could, and both drivers heading at the same time, precisely making their maneuver. Maurice Burnett, the 8, now looking to try to keep the Budweiser machine relatively in an innocuous position. Trying to stay out of trouble. England a little too aggressive there off the corner. That opens the door. That's why you still see a lot of drivers getting too power hungry on those speeds. They have to be careful, especially about that turn there. That turn 3 and 4 will set you up for troubles if you're not too careful down there, and he just figured that out. That's one thing I never really could figure out about Charlotte Motor Speedway, was how to absolutely keep the car underneath you and keep it somewhat stable. The only thing I've ever been able to figure it out with is honestly a street stock, which it's not really counting, honestly. "22 laps left to go." Laps clipping away, 20 laps remain. Van Schijk, Dayton Taylor, right now they are both trying to figure out this enigma of Tyler Dalton, trying to put the puzzle pieces together, hoping and praying they can just get this figured out. But it might be too little too late. Way back on the back straightaway though, we got a battle going on. Cody Sturgill, Alan Weil, Keith Brents, well, let's just say they don't want to leave each other alone down there. Keith Brent's finally getting a good drive off there, getting some more momentum flipped up. And again, I've said it already, he's a top 5 driver level for sure. But just the other notion of how quick and how fast he's had to hang in there with these other drivers has been one to truly see. And earlier as well, we saw his strategy for stage points. And almost worked out well in its favor. He came so close yet so far. Just barely missing out on it. Slingshot it on the outside. Prince trying to get ahead of Dario. Dario opening the door up, and I know I said earlier on you don't want to try to dive it in too deep in that corner, but Prince knows at least how to stabilize the car down enough to where it won't be able to get too tight. Uses it well there. Kevin England, Christoph Hall in the back of the pack. Final battle here, maybe for the top 10 spot. The Planet Fitness, number 127 of England. I'm going to try to take down the target 44. Ooh, England. A little too close for the wall protection there at least, and ends up clipping it just a little bit down off the outside. The safer barriers there doing their job though, keeping each car stable down. Sturgill back straight away right now, trying to keep the interstate batteries afloat, trying to stay right in motion and right where he needs to. The Taylor 24 still getting some guitar center rocking and rolling, but has not been able to stay in that top spot for very long. Falling victim to just last minute gas, but last minute runs here. And Aaron Ashton Jackson now looking to rock that way, back up there, same way we saw Sturgill. Jackson has moved into the third spot and closely getting up there to Dayton. Dayton isn't exactly staying too far away, but everybody right now is struggling to get to this guy with 14 to go. Is the reign of terror going to continue? Twelve laps left. Dalton just at this point trying to hold bound the speed, hold down the gaps, and hope for the best here. Keith Prince here with a little bit of a run here onto Van Schijk. Looking for any kind of extra little clip or any extra little momentum he can get around him with. Crunched up on the inside there. Looked like Schijk almost got himself sent out of the ballpark with that one. Stayed out of trouble though. Prince moving into the fourth spot. Or is he? No, Schijk still not giving him an inch down there. Probably reading the writing on the walls here. He knows he can't give up too much pace here. Alan Wilder right behind both of them right now, looking to grab a little bit of gap, a little bit of power off. Wild, 10 laps to go, knows what's at stake here. Big positions and big spots to really fill in. Look at Prince and Schijk though, man, absolutely crazy. These two just giving it everything they got in the last laps. Alan Wild again, they're all battling only for a fourth place position. But you would think they were bound for the lead right now, the way they are charging each other. Schijk is getting thrown higher and higher up to that wall. The fact that he hasn't got into it yet is beyond me. Prince has literally put him every which way to Sunday up near that thing, and he still won't give it out. Pour on the run, pour on the power. Chances are you may see something maybe that just makes you just feel a little bit sour. Not quite just yet though. 7 laps will remain. Dalton coming closer and closer to the edge of this here. And again, he's got all the power he needs here with these 8 to go. 7 when he gets that line, of course. Top 5 on your screen right now here for the rest of this race. Comers and goers all day long. Drivers finding the runs when they can, finding more momentum where they get it. Nobody this day did not have a little bit of a story to tell or something to say. Even those that left early, like Joe Hudson, TJ Allen, Wesley Donaldson, and even Bud Shearer, they all had a piece of the pie. Sammy Harrell, Maurice Burnett, they gave it what they had early and tried to fight quick. Brian Wertman, kind of a sneaky little one back there. He was always in the gaps in the controls, and he was hoping for something to work out in his favor. Richard Crane having the problems there. They got into Christoph Hall, and both drivers now just kind of stretched back out from their behalves. Kevin England, Philip Schmitz, and Alan Wild, all of them also just nowhere for them to travel off to or nowhere to get away from. And then here we are. Just last this effort, this last power grab for any position they can with 5 to go. Van Schaik holding the top 5 out right now. Dario, but a little bit of that high-O on his mark. Trying to get up there with Van Schaik here for whatever's left underneath the hood. But 4 laps remain. This guy continues to put everybody in his place. Dalton right now just trying to hang on for what's left. Dayton Taylor, Aaron Jackson. Action seemingly coming alive later in the season. Right when he needed it to. Ultimately, I question, will it be enough to make one last run for that Final Four and then the spot for the championship, considering how far he had to go and he had to scratch and claw just to get to. Smith's way off the pace there and little problems down there. Cody Sturgill jumping in right ahead. Brian Wertman also getting right underneath him and right over him. 2 laps to go. The last bit of this race right now, focusing highly on that 19. The Sim 500 camp is going to be a happy camp tonight. White flag in the air this time on around. Tyler Dalton, your race leader, looking for just 4 more good corners. He strung this race out. He gave it everything he had, he needed to do. And this will end that final drive. To corner 3 to turn 4. Tyler Dalton is going to bring it home in Charlotte. Your race winner will be Tyler Dalton. From wrecked to checked into victory lane. Tyler Dalton, I don't know how he does it. But the reign of terror must continue, as I say. 6 wins in the Cup Division. 4 more than anybody else underneath him. And literally at this point, He's after He's after Aaron Smith, the gold standards record on the Go Racing League again. Celebrate the only way you know how, by burning it up in Concord. Race results presented by Jack Races Collectibles here at Tyler Dalton, ladies and gentlemen. Your winner, Dayton Taylor, second. Aaron Axe Jackson, third. Keith Briscoe's fourth. Charles Van Schaik, fifth. Cameron Dario, sixth. Seventh to Alan Wild. Eighth to Kevin England. Ninth to Brian Werman. Cody Sturgill brings it home to the top 10. The rest of your finishers on your screen. What a showcase, what a race for all involved, and with one more still to go. Race fans, thank you all so much for tuning on in today. We appreciate you guys down here in Concord, and we'll see you back soon enough in due time. But for now, thank you all for tuning into the show. Happy Mother's Day to all. If you can't make the next one, we'll see you next time when the green flag flies on P10 Race TV.